What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today on the live? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about secret haters, guys. We're going to be talking about people preying on your downfall. You know, it's a lot of people around you. You know, it's your job, where you live, on public transportation. You know, who might not necessarily have what you got going on at their best interest of heart. So, what a lot of people tend to do is, you know, a lot of times you might not know it, but every time, if you stay in an apartment complex, there's at least 10, 20 people when they see you. They're talking about you. You know, oh, you're not even doing that. You probably just going to work every day, taking care of your fam, and they're like, oh, he think he all that. You know what I mean by that. There's people out here who actually you don't even know. They haven't talked to you or anything, but in their head, you're competition. There's an issue with you out of other people. You know. So today, that's what we're going to be talking about on today's video. So today is a video so people will be aware of silent enemies. Guys, silent enemies. And do you guys want to know why silent enemies are more dangerous than enemies who make their self known? It's because silent enemies, like you probably will never figure out that this person had a hand in your downfall. They're silent, sneaky, slimy. And then I much rather respect open haters. A person who I know don't like me. It's easy to identify. It's way easier to identify somebody who doesn't like you than somebody who moves around in silence praying against you, my God. So guys, we just want to make people aware that we live in a time period where people don't want you to have anything. It's like nobody wants you to have nothing good in life. If they can't say they got it, they don't want you to have it. If your neighbors are struggling on food and they see you pull up all the time with a bunch of food, you stay in apartments, a lot of people will sit back hating on you. Florida Life, what's up? Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. If you want to know the parlay I got for tonight, send a gift or a super chat. Chi. Obviously, you don't have a life because you're on my live. So obviously, my life is way more important than yours because you're telling me to get a life. But if you felt that down about me, why are you even here? How about that? How about them apples? But like I said, guys, there's people around us who secretly don't like you. Like I said, we got Chi in the building. You see, Chi, he said get a life. I much rather deal with a hater who I know don't like me. Like Chi, I know Chi doesn't like me. But there's people out here who will not show any animosity against you. There's people out here who will sit back and play on you, spread rumors on you, and you will never know that they're doing it. Those are the people you have to watch. You have to be aware. Your senses, your six senses, or 10 senses, however many senses you got, need to be all at play. You know. Oh, Chi says she. I thought you was a dude. I thought you was a dude. But since you don't like me anyway, Chi, I'm gonna call you my guy anyway. You're my guy. How about that? How about that, my guy? You know. Facts, facts. That's a fact. Union Ash said keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But the problem is, what if you don't know you got a secret enemy? What if you're working a job and the guy that you work with every day, you thought y'all was cool, but the whole time, he got on a mask. He's your secret enemy. Noah Dennis, you already know it. Menthol all day. You know, it's usually the person. It's usually the person that you don't know that secretly envy you that can cause you the most harm. Amari Hopkins says Space Ghost tweaking. Slee Shot said, when will you find a job? What's up, Jose Gomez? How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good today. There's all type of spirits out here today, guys. All different types of spirits. There's people out here who it's like there's so many people who don't want to see the next person, thrive. You know, when you thriving, when you're out there thriving in life, meaning that you just got a new job, your credit on point, you're on your purpose. That's when the devil goes into work overtime, guys. That's when the devil goes into work overtime. Most people would rather have something bad to talk about you about than them saying that, dang, that dude came from nothing. Dang, that dude got a $500,000 house. Dang, this dude really is putting in work. They rather sit back and be like, hey, look at that bomb. Look at that bomb right there. He land on a cardboard box. Homeless. He a junkie. He ain't nothing. And all that. But guys, the way to kill your haters is to find absolute success. Absolute success. And the easiest way to do that is, find a way where people cannot impact your income. If people can impact your income any type of way, if they can get you fired from your job, if they can take your spot, get you to quit, they will. We see this on a daily basis, guys. We see this on a daily basis. A lot of you guys, things be going wrong in your life and you be wondering why, like, what did I do? Like, and stuff like that. It's because you probably done ran your mouth to a hater who was in disguise. This happens a lot on jobs, guys. This happens a lot on jobs where guys that come in and it'll be a black dude, but just because the other dude's black, you'll come in talking to him like he's cool, he a homeboy. And then next thing you know, he runs off to higher up in management, and you're wondering why they're treating you differently and giving you a hard time. It's crazy. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Anybody's welcome to hit the comments with questions and concerns. And right, Amari, instead of helping. A lot of people will roll over in their graves before they decide to help you. So this is why you always have to be in a position, to help yourself. It's just like I heard on a Boosie song back in the day. He said, when we fall, we the crutches. Meaning that when you fall, you have to be your own crutches most of the time, because most people, they wanted you to fall anyway. So you got to pick yourself back up. When we fall, we the crutches, we the dodo and the duchess. Just like that. Mark Boogie, the monster, said he snowed in. He snowed in. Hopefully you got the things you need while you're snowed in. You got food. If you smoke Mary Jane, you got that, and stuff like that. TV, bills paid. Because a lot of places when it snows, the city shuts down for at least a week. Some places don't know how to handle a lot of snow and keep moving. Like Washington, D.C., probably keep moving. New York City, if it snows heavy, it's going to keep moving. But welcome to the channel, everybody. How's everybody doing? Red Guard, what's up? Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. How about that? What's up, everybody? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Don't fall victim to a secret. Like how you have a secret admirer. Secret admirer. Red Guard says, smoke one for me, Papa. All right, I'll smoke one for you. I'll smoke one for you. How about that? Secret enemies, frenemies, and all. Haters come in all forms, shapes, and sizes. Could be your brother. Could be your girlfriend. Could be your neighbors. Could be your boss on the job. That's one thing that I won't want to deal with if is a hater who's my boss. Mr. Keep It Simple said, do you pray to Rosary? No. No, I don't. No, I do not pray the Rosary. This is why I advise people, if you got hatred in your heart for me, hit the comments. If you got hatred in your heart for me, hit the comments. Let me know you're a hater. How about that? If you don't have hatred for me in your heart, show some love to the channel. How many of you guys want to be financially successful? Or rich and financially successful? Because if there's people out here who want to be rich and financially successful, there's a million people who don't know you, but once they figure out what you're doing, what you're planning, they're going to try to stop you from becoming successful. They're going to try to stop. A lot of people are going to try to stop you from becoming successful. Conscious Cookie Monster. That sounds like a nasty name for a woman. That sounds like a nasty name for a woman. Cookie Monster. It sounds like some type of prostitution ring or something. How about that? Conscious Cookie Monster. Too Tight said, are you Christian? Bitch, I might be. Bitch, I might be. Bitch, I might be. Bitch, I might be. How about that? How about them apples? So many judgmental people out here who, so many judgmental people out here who will love to know your plans Even if it doesn't have anything to do with doing anything wrong to anybody, you can be positive as you want to be. There's somebody out there who is willing to bring your little joy down. Harley D, what's up? Harley D's in the building. The easiest way to get a shout out is the easiest way to get a good shout out, to get some recognition is to post a super chat. That's the best way to get some good recognition. Cause people gonna be like, who's this dude? Oh, that super chat is colorful. Who's this guy right here? A lot of people might come to your channel depending on how much you super chat. A lot of people gonna like that super chat, and so the easiest way to get attention on the channel, the best way is through super chats and gifts. It's just a little piece of advice for a lot of you guys. Boot said do a barrel roll. Why would I do that? I'm too old. I am too old to do a barrel roll. You couldn't pay me to do a barrel roll. What's up, Austin? How you doing? We got Austin in the building. Too Tight said, how old are you? I'm 35. 35. He says, shave your... Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles says, shave your head for 50. You see, guys, I'm an honest person. I could lie to you and say, yeah, I'm going to shave my head. But I'm not going to shave my hair for 50. Like, I could say, go ahead and send the 50, and I'll shave my head. I'm not even going to lie and tell you that I'm going to shave my head for 50, because I'm not. I'm just being 100 with you. My friend, said, I'm in North Carolina. Have you ever been here? Yes, I have. Yeah, one of my favorite places. Yeah, North Carolina is one of my favorite places to come on vacation to. I'm not shaving my head, bro. I am not shaving my head, bro. You get that out your mind. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna show you Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. If you keep trolling, I'm gonna show you who's on the broke shit, and I'm gonna show you how much power I actually have on this YouTube channel. I'm gonna show you who's on the broke shit, Roscoe. I would never, guys, there's nothing I would do that, like, if I don't believe in doing something, there's no amount of money you can send me to do it. Lamar Downer. That sounds like a very negative name. A very negative name for your name to be Downer. I'm not shaving nothing. If y'all want to support the channel, super chats and gifts, then support the channel. But I'm not going to do nothing that I don't believe in that you guys tell me to do for money. I'm not a sellout. I'm not a sellout. How about that? Truth mode. I cannot do 100 push-ups straight. I cannot do. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm not gonna finish. You know, I'm not gonna finish. I'm not gonna try it. Smoke indica. Yeah, my day's going pretty good, brother. He said you can do it, brother. I know myself, bro. And I'm not about to sit down and do no motherfucking push-ups. I know that. Not 100. I'm not even about to do 50. Yep. Honestly, Patrick, my hairline is having a wonderful day as well. You know, Sad boy Jeezy said 40. I ain't doing nothing. Yeah, you guys want me to do stuff, but I don't even think that it's any money on this video right now. Honestly, ain't nobody show love to the channel, so why would I be trying to do stuff? I done already did things on this channel where people don't pay. Like you say you're gonna do something, you don't do it. If you say you're gonna do something, you don't do it. And ain't nobody blessed the channel yet. I'm definitely not doing nothing. So my main source of income on YouTube is through ad revenue. Ad revenue. How about that? Imaja the one. Thank you. I'ma subscribe. Do 10 push-ups, fool. I don't need your subscription, Patrick. I do not need your subscription. I'm not gonna do it for 10 push-ups. How about that? Sleaze squares. He knows me. He said I don't get no money on here. He said Sleaze said I don't get no money on YouTube. All right, all right. If you think that, you know, it's not enough money to stop working anyway. I get money, but not enough to stop working. The Cobra effect. What's up, my guy? If you did, you have a haircut. It's been like 4 months. What if I'm growing dreads? What if I'm growing dreadlocks? How about that? Why would you cut your hair? You know, there's no reason for me to get a hairline, guys. Be real. There's no reason for me to get a hairline because my hairline is fucked up. It's not straight anymore because I'm getting older. But, you know, growing dreads takes a while. As you guys know, before I cut my hair, I was growing my dreads for over 7 years. I was growing my dreads for over 7 years. And it was all the way down here. I had long dreads. You can go back on previous videos and see that. How about that? Micah Grant said his baby mama kicked him out. What should he do? Stop depending on women and get your own crib. Stop depending on women and get your own crib. Because 9 times out of 10, most of the time, a woman every 90, I'm gonna say 95% of the time, if you stay with a chick, guys, if you ain't learned yet, for all the guys who stay with women, 95% of the time, if your name is not on that lease and she gets mad at you, you know, you're not married or none of that, you're gonna get kicked out the crib, bro. So get your own shit. Get your own shit. Stop staying with women. That way, once you get a crazy chick, you can kick her ass out the crib. Kick her ass out the crib. How about that? Instead of the other way around, you know. Well, Michael, you got to if you don't have nowhere to, if you don't have nowhere to stay, go homeless until you find a job. Go homeless until you find a job. If you don't have nowhere to stay and a female kick you out the crib and you don't have nowhere to go homeless until you find a job. You're gonna have to find a job, my guy. There's no way around it. Yeah, you gotta get on the grind, bro. You gotta get on the grind. Can't be out here depending on no woman. Cause we all know when women have that much power over you, you gotta think about it, guys. You're staying in her crib. Like if that's like one of that gives you least power, you know. She probably getting off on that shit. Like, yeah, I think any dude who stays with a chick, you know, best believe he is eating that pee. He's eating that pee and he's eating that butthole. I'm telling you. Any dude who stays with a chick, because chicks, you know, if I was a dude and a chick wanted to come stay with me, you know what I'm saying? I know for a fact I'm gonna get everything. Head, you know, pee. You know, so what will a woman do? What would a woman do if you stay with her and you guys are having sex? 9 times out of 10, no matter what, you're gonna have to eat her vagina. How about that? If you think I'm wrong, disagree. You know, because if she gets mad at you, you know she gonna kick your ass out. You know, we don't advise men on this channel to stay with women. I'm telling you, it doesn't work. It never works. Eventually, she's gonna kick your ass out, kick you to the curb. Smith Pierce said, that's how they do it. That's why you gotta have your game together so they can't do that to you. Facts. Facts. And guys, there's a lot of beautiful women out here who are not game tight. They're used to guys coming over there eating their food. You ain't paying no bills. You ain't on a lease. And if you're not on a lease, don't pay no bills. Because you're going to pay the bills and she's still going to kick you out. I done been there, guys. I done been there, done that. Never again. Even if you pay the bills, put food in the house, think you doing something, she's still going to kick you out. She going to have you mad. She going to have you madder than a motherfucker. ready to break the law, kick the door in. What's gonna happen is you gonna end up going to jail. Yep. Facts. Micah Grant says she loves me. Any woman will tell a guy that she loves him, guys. I'd have been there too many times. Every time I will hook up with a chick, especially in Atlanta, I was homeless in Atlanta. And every chick I got with, when I was having sex with her, putting it down on her and stuff, she would be kissing me. I love you. I love you. And you want to know what? The next day, she was gone. Anybody can say they love you out of their mouth, but actions speak louder than words. That's why I don't give a fuck about what nobody say. I don't give a fuck about what nobody say. I'm reading actions. If I can't read you and see your actions, then fuck it. What's up, Touch? Facts, facts. Facts, Smith Pierce. This is not a gay scream, but we do accept everybody on this channel. YouTube accepts. YouTube doesn't discriminate. I'm not discriminating. This is whatever you do. That's what you do. Yes, Touch. You sure can. You can cash out me 5. You definitely can cash. I mean, you can act. You definitely can super chat me 5. And for anybody else who wants to send super chats or gifts, now's the time. Terry, nobody do not want your goddamn barber. Tell him again, Touch. Put your money where your mouth is. How about that? But yeah, go ahead and super chat that 5 over, Touch. Go on super chat that 5. Super chat that 5 over. Raw Black Pole. We still got this nasty name. His name. I bet every chick who listens to that name be like, that dude sound nasty. Hey, this how he approach women, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She be like, what's your name? He be like, my name Raw Black Pole. And she like, I'll holler at you. I'll holler at you. All right, Touch. All right. Not a big deal. You worrying about my poll and not getting a job. What's up, Haley Hinton? Haley Hinton. That sounds like some money. That sounds like some money. Haley. Sounds like a blonde, you know, a blonde chick. Yeah, I'm about to buy me a new laptop too. I'm gonna buy me a new laptop. Yeah, cause this laptop be tripping on me. Michael Grant said he's considering smash and grab to get some extra money. Yeah, I hope you get away with it. I hope you get away with it. How about that? And if you're going to do that, I advise you to take about 10 to 15 dudes with you. So the less likely of everybody getting caught is slim. You know, I could give a fuck about somebody telling. Because by the time they tell, I'll be out the country. And smash and grab, Michael, smash and grab a jewelry store. And take you about 15 dudes with you. About 15 dudes with you. You know, you can't do it by yourself. You're going to get caught. You sound like you might be fat, Michael. You sound like you might be overweight. You know, they going to catch you fast. Smash and grab. You know, you weigh 200. You weigh the same thing I weigh talking about smashing and grabbing. The only way you don't get caught is if you got 25 dudes with you. It's crazy. Yeah, my laptop tripping, so I'm gonna cut that guy off. Cut the laptop off, let it cool down. I need a much newer laptop. He said, "What if he Ubered him?" Yeah. Get about 10, 15 dudes and Uber them to and from the location. Yeah, Devin. Devin, if you don't like dry comedy and financial advice, this is just not the channel for you, bro. You know, no other channel influences what I do on my channel. Mississippi Menace. It's in the building. He said get an airport shuttle if you're going to get a crew. That's funny. Get an airport shuttle. Yeah, if you're going to smash and grab, you're going to get caught 9 times out of 10. You're going to get caught. But the less likely you get caught is if you got 10 to 15 dudes with you. Mississippi Menace, I don't do too much on the channel. I just kind of go with the flow. I kind of just go with the flow and what the chat's talking about and stuff like that. So it's not, I don't have a script. This is unscripted. So I pretty much just go with the flow, kick it with the chat most of the stream. You know. Mr. Mittis said, hey, what's up, bro? What's up? What's happening? Oh, it's good. Thanks. Welcome back. Welcome back to the live. He said, what are your hobbies, bro? And what do you like to do for fun? So, I like to travel. I like to create content on YouTube. I do that for fun. Let's see. I do sports books, which that's probably not, you know, a hobby or anything. That's more of a gamble, you know. But yeah, like to walk, like to ride in my car. Yeah, go ahead and ask Mississippi Menace. Yeah, fishing too. I haven't been fishing in a while. I haven't been fishing in a while. Yeah, but that sounds perfect right about now. Throwing that pole out there, drinking some beers, you know, hanging with the homies. Yeah, yeah, I love to fish as well. He said, Mississippi Minute said, what's your opinion on arm wrestling? I don't really think about arm wrestling too much. Don't really think about arm wrestling too much. You know, but I think that it's a sport or game of strength. You know, in the wrist, in the hand. You know, what do you think about power slapping? I think that that's like you need a lot of discipline to do some shit like that. You know, because I done seen like clips of videos of people getting power slapped, and it's like, oh my god, bro, that dude just or that female just fucking lit this dude face up, you know, and for you to hold yourself there just to slap them back. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Ugh. All right, guys, we're gonna end up ending this live. We're gonna end this live in about 12 minutes. You know, nobody showed any love to the channel. You know, first and foremost, I'm on YouTube to make money. You know, live go dead. Nobody's chatting, super chatting, sending gifts. Then I'ma holler. I'ma holler about 12 minutes. It's me, Tyson. You ain't miss nothing. You did not miss nothing. Wow, it's Mike Tyson. All right, guys, I'm gonna holler at you guys on the next live stream because this live stream is dead. You know, maybe in the future lives, think I'm gonna do something, start doing something a little differently on my lives. You know, just try to spice it up a little bit. You know, but as you guys know, I do not copy anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I don't really look at other people's streams or nothing like that. So I'm going off of my personal. Hopefully, I create something special one day. But hey, guys, I'm gonna holler at you on the next video. I love you guys. Appreciate you. You know, And I'm going to holler at you on the next one. Over and out.